Unit 4, Exercise 6, Part 1.
The Liberty Hotel, Boston. If you want a hotel near the historic downtown area of Boston, try the Liberty Hotel. The hotel is an old prison. The outside looks like an old building, but the inside is very modern. A lot of the hotel still looks like an old prison. The brick walls and cell doors, for example. The lobby looks amazing, with huge windows and prison balconies. Luxurious rooms. There are 300 very luxurious rooms, and don't worry, they give you a key. The rooms are very comfortable and modern. There is a TV, refrigerator, and free internet access in every room. The bathrooms are beautiful, with a big bathtub, a glass shower, and soft bathrobes. The fabulous Alibi Lounge on the first floor has cell windows and doors. It's also very dark, just like a prison. There are also interesting photos of famous people on the walls. Good food. On the second floor, there is a very good restaurant called Clink, where the food is excellent and not too expensive. There is also a gym. The hotel is in the historic Beacon Hill neighborhood and near the famous Charles River. There are also more restaurants and stores nearby, and across the river are Harvard and MIT, two famous universities. It's the kind of hotel you don't want to leave.
Unit 4, Exercise 7, Parts 1 and 2. Donna from Texas, the United States.
I live with my son and my grandson. We live in a small town called Lockhart, near Austin in Texas. The house is very old and very big. We only live in part of it. There are 6 bedrooms, but we only use 3 of them. Most of the time, we live in the kitchen. It's a big kitchen. We eat and watch TV in there. We don't use the living room very much. That's big, too. My son, Billy, is a teacher. My grandson, Tyler, is only 9. He goes to school in town.
Kelly from Perth, Australia.
I'm very excited because I have my own house for the first time. It's very new and modern. I have 3 bedrooms, a big living room and kitchen, and a small yard. I love it. I love cooking in my kitchen for my friends. It's in a part of Perth called Greenwood, not too far from downtown. I work in a bank right in downtown Perth, and I go to work by train. I live alone. Well, that's not quite true. I live with my cat, Ozzy. He's my best friend.
Najendra and Anita from Delhi, India.
We live in a small apartment with our daughters, Alicia, she's 13, and Shristi, she's 15. The apartment isn't in the center of Delhi. It's west of Delhi, 20 kilometers from my work and the children's school. It's old and simple. We have 1 bedroom, 1 living room, and a tiny kitchen. The television's in one corner of the living room, and the refrigerator is in the other corner. Our kitchen is too small for a refrigerator. We sit on the floor to watch TV and eat our evening meal. The girls sleep here, too. My wife and I sleep in the bedroom.
Unit 4, Exercise 8, Part 1. A.
15.
B.
70.
C.
68.
D.
20.
E.
260.
F.
810.
G.
2,000.
H.
15,000.
Unit 4, Exercise 8, Part 3. A,
308.
B,
51.
C,
28.
D,
670.
E,
1,500.
F,
2.5.
G,
10.3.
H,
484 555 6721.
Unit 4, Exercise 9, Part 1. A,
$50.
B,
$10.
C,
£6.50.
D,
80 cents.
E,
100 euros.
F,
86 euros.
G,
$45.
H.
$20.
Unit 5, Exercise 1. 1,
Superman can fly.
2,
He can't play the piano.
3,
I can play the guitar.
4,
My sister can't cook very well.
5,
Can't you speak Portuguese? I don't believe it.
6,
Dogs can swim, but cats can't.
7,
Birds can't speak like humans.
8,
Can't you program a computer?
Unit 5, Exercise 6, Parts 1 and 3. Kyle,
I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Both my parents were born in New York, too. My dad was a taxi driver, and my mom cleaned houses. My first school was next to our house. That was good, but, I think I was pretty smart. I could read and write when I was just 5 or 6, but I wasn't good at sports. I couldn't play soccer like the other boys. I couldn't really kick a ball at all. I wasn't popular at school, so my childhood wasn't very happy. My next school was a really good one in downtown New York City, Stuyvesant High School, and after that, Columbia University. Now I'm a journalist, and I love my work. My mom and dad still live on the same street. I often visit them, but when I see my old school, I can still feel how unhappy I was there.
Olivia,
I'm married. I have 2 children, a son and a daughter. I live in a town called Puebla, just south of Mexico City, but I wasn't born in Mexico. I was born in East Africa, in Tanzania. My mom and dad were teachers there at the time. My mom's English, but she was born in Tanzania because my grandfather worked there. My dad is American. He's from California, but after college he wanted to travel to Africa. My mom and dad were married there, and my brothers and I were born there. We were there until I was 10, and my brothers were 8 and 5. We were at the same school together. It wasn't in the town, it was in the bush, and it was a lot of fun. There were only 2 classes, one for the young children, who were 5 and 6, and the other was for 6 to 11-year-old children. We couldn't play outside. It was too hot, and there were snakes. School finished at 1 o'clock every day, and our house was near the ocean, so we could all go swimming every afternoon. My childhood was very happy, all sunshine and swimming.
Unit 5, Exercise 9, Part 1.
Galileo Galilei, the father of modern science. Galileo Galilei was an Italian physicist, mathematician, astronomer, and philosopher. He was an excellent scientist. His early years. Galileo was born in 1564 in Pisa, Italy. He was the first of 6 children of Vincenzo Galilei and Giulia Amamanti. His father was a famous musician. Galileo's early education was in a monastery. From there, in 1581, he went to the University of Pisa, where he was a student of medicine and mathematics. Then, from 1592 to 1610, he went to the University of Padua. He wasn't a student at this university. He was a professor of mathematics and astronomy. Galileo was the father of 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. His scientific life. Galileo made excellent telescopes. With them, he could see moons going around the planet Jupiter and the planet Venus going around the sun. At the time, there was the belief that the Earth was the center of the universe and the sun went around the Earth. However, by 1610, Galileo's theory was that Earth was not the center of our universe. Galileo said that the sun was the center and the Earth moved around it. His last years. Some leaders weren't happy with Galileo's theories. His ideas were dangerous because they were different and new. Finally, in 1634, there was a trial. Galileo was 70 and not in good health, so he wasn't sent to prison, but he couldn't leave his house in Florence. It was here that he died in 1642. He was 78 years old and completely blind.
Unit 5, Exercise 10. 1.
Hi, can I help you?
A coffee, please.
Espresso? Cappuccino? Latte?
An espresso, please. And could you give me some hot water as well?
Sure. Have a seat.
2.
Excuse me, could I ask you a question?
Of course. What is it?
Could you tell me what yellow means?
Yellow is a color. The sun's yellow. Butter is yellow.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
3.
Kevin, can I ask you a favor?
Sure. What is it?
Could you help me with my computer?
What's the problem?
I can't get online.
Okay. Let's see what's wrong.
4.
Dad, could I borrow the car tonight?
All right. But it needs gas.
Okay. Dad, I don't have any money. Can you lend me some?
Is that lend or give?
I'll pay you back, I promise. Mom, can I have $20?
Unit 6, Exercise 2, Part 1.
Worked. Lived. Decided. Received. Recorded. Watched. Talked. Joined. Wanted. Earned. Opened. Stayed. Stopped. Finished. Walked. Liked. Enjoyed. Traveled. Played. Started.
Unit 6, Exercise 2, Part 2.
10 in office. Worked in. He worked in. Worked in an office. He worked in an office.
Unit 6, Exercise 2, Part 3. 1,
We lived in a small house.
2,
I watched a good program on TV.
3,
She talked about her childhood.
4,
We played in a band.
5,
She started a new job.
6,
I earned a lot of money.
7,
We stopped at a hotel.
8,
We wanted a pizza.
9.
He joined a club at school.
Unit 6, Exercise 5, Part 1.
John Lennon, 1940 to 1980. John Lennon was one of the Beatles. With Paul McCartney, he wrote some of the greatest songs of the 20th century. John Lennon had an unhappy childhood. His father left home when he was 5. His mother couldn't take care of him, so John lived with his Aunt Mimi until he was 19. When he was 17, his mother died in a car crash. He went to Quarry Bank High School in Liverpool, England. He met George Harrison and Paul McCartney, and in 1960 they started a band called The Beatles. The Beatles recorded their first single, Love Me Do, in 1962. They became famous in 1963 when they played more than 200 concerts. In 1964, they came to the United States for the first time and played on television. End of concerts. The Beatles stopped playing live concerts in 1966 because the audience made so much noise that nobody could hear the music. But they continued to record songs, and in 1967 they made the album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. The last album they recorded together was Abbey Road. John Lennon married the artist Yoko Ono in 1969, and the Beatles broke up in 1970. John and Yoko moved to New York. John wrote and sang his most famous song, Imagine, in 1971. In 1980, he recorded a new album, Double Fantasy. He was killed a month later. A man named Mark Chapman shot him outside his New York apartment near Central Park. 2 days before his murder, John Lennon told an interviewer, "I feel safe in New York. I can go anywhere. It's my home."
Unit 6, Exercise 6, Parts 1 and 2.
Grandpa, did you ever go to a pop concert?
Did I ever go to a pop concert? I went to the pop concert.
What do you mean?
I, Robert, your grandfather, was at the Beatles concert in August 1965 at Shea Stadium in New York City.
So that was a good one?
That was the best concert ever.
Okay, tell me about it.
Well, it was kinda exciting and frightening, too.
Why frightening?
There were so many fans there, over 55,000. And the noise, it was so noisy. Everyone was so excited. They screamed and shouted. There were over 2,000 police officers there. And when the Beatles finally appeared, the crowd went wild. They went crazy. They climbed over each other to get closer. It was amazing.
What songs did they play?
Well, the problem was that the screaming was so loud you couldn't hear the music. We couldn't hear the songs very well at all. They only played for 30 minutes. I think they played 12 songs, but I only heard a little of Can't Buy Me Love and Help. Oh, and Twist and Shout.
I know those songs.
Of course you do. You still hear them today, all the time.
So how much did you pay not to hear the Beatles?
$5.75. I had one of the best seats.
Only $5.75? That's really cheap. Grandpa, you still have all your Beatles records, don't you?
Yup, I bought every one. I can't throw them away. But of course now I have the CDs too. You know, I remember buying my very first. It was I Wanna Hold Your Hand. Oh, those were the days.
Unit 6, Exercise 8, Part 2. 1,
April 2nd,
2,
June 10th,
3,
August 9th,
4,
November 12th,
5,
December 25th,
6,
March 19th,
Unit 6, Exercise 8, Part 4. 1,
1980,
2,
1996,
3,
1961,
4,
1865,
5,
2003,
6,
2009,
7,
2010,
8,
2015,